Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining our webinar. Um, a few more minutes, we'll let a few people join and we'll be able to start. But thank you so much for joining. In the meantime, if you can just let us know your name, what kind of business you do, or what role you are in at your job, and where you're calling in from. Thank you.
Everyone, you guys are welcome to this Academy's Agile Project Management webinar. My name is Harry, and I'll be acting as a host to you today alongside a team member of ours. You guys are welcome. It's nice to see we have so many people from different areas. Someone says he's an NY, a C Corper serving in Badan, and an aspiring project manager. You're welcome, Fumilayo. Hi, Paul, customer success manager. Hi, Ini. So, right into it. We're going to have an icebreaker. And so, just to set the tone before we start, this is going to be some sort of like a training session. We have two amazing trainers here today to give you, of course, the absolute best. And to set the tone, we're going to have an icebreaker. We're going to be asking you guys to try to form 5 words with the word agile. So we're learning agile project management today. Um, so we're going to have a link in the group chat where we can drop answers to our icebreaker. And also, we're also going to be using the same link for a Q&A. So while we're waiting for others to join, we have the Q&A link in the chat. Please let's use it to participate in our icebreaker. So our icebreaker is we're forming 5 words with the word agile. So I'm seeing someone in the comment section. Someone says age, lag, life, lie. So is that all the words you can come up with? Let's be creative. Let's drop our answers either in the comment section or using the Q&A link. We're forming 5 words with the word agile, since of course we're going to be learning agile project management today. Eagle. I'm not sure that's a word. Gale. Okay, we have our first 5 words from Caleb, lie, leg, gale, ill, age. Is ill a word? I'm not very sure. I don't know if that's in my dictionary. Oh, nice. Eagle means treating everyone properly. So I've learned something today. Oh, ale is a drink. That's nice. Okay. So let's get ready to make the most out of our webinar. So on the screen, we have 4 images. We can see a laptop, we can see an image of a book and pen, we can see someone speaking, we can see good internet. We can guess what's the word that links all these 4 images together. We can guess. Let's have creative answers. You can either drop your answers again in the comment section or using the Q&A link. What's the word that links these 4 together? Anybody? Website? No, Paul. I don't think so. Close, but we can see we have a clue. We have 7 letters. Not website. Sorry, Caleb. Not web link either. Let's try again. One last chance. Training, close. Network, not really. Training is close to what we're doing today. Webinar. Amazing. We have a winner. Engineer AKs, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, says webinar. And so we have a winner. Of course, the answer is webinar. And we want to know how to make the most, of course, of this webinar. Okay, well done, Engineer Eneo. So before we get into the webinar, a little bit about Big Zero Academy. So Big Zero Academy is your organizer for today's webinar slash training. So Big Zero Academy is a US-based registered organization, also registered in Cameroon and operating in across various West African countries or most African countries. We are your learning partner. We are dedicated to closing the knowledge gap between where you are now and where you vision your professional future. So our academy was founded with the belief that education and skill training can unlock better employment opportunities for millions of Africans worldwide. And so we do this through various ways, such as webinars and workshops, free, just like this, and some live course trainings, some digital courses and tech courses that are able to bridge that skill gap that we have in Africa, and also corporate training for organizations that are looking to empower their staff and grow the success of their organization. So our teaching philosophy, we are, of course, you're going to experience this firsthand today. We have a practical emphasis, project-based learning, and all of this is in an effort to, of course, empower the African youth in such a way that we are able to help you build your portfolio. We're able to help you gain hands-on experience. We're able to help you build your critical thinking, have an independent exploration, and we also are strong on assessment and certificate preparation. So, of course, we are also big on helping you get the necessary certifications that are going to help you expand your reach in the job or in your jobs, expand your reach in your job search. So you're able to put yourself ahead and you're able to make yourself visible to all of these big organizations looking to hire amazing, young, talented individuals like you are. So we are here to help you succeed. So, like we said, how to make the most of this webinar, please grab your notepad. It could be digital or traditional. It could be digital like a notepad on your laptop like me, or you could also pay keen attention. Also, please feel free to note down your questions. We have a Q&A link that's been sent in the comment section already. Please, during the course of the training, you don't have to wait. You can always, of course, note your questions there. It's going to be anonymous, so you can note your questions using the Q&A link, and also look out for other links that are going to be shared in the comment section, such as our post-webinar survey, because we are big on really helping you succeed in your career. And so after this webinar, we're going to attach a freebie course to our post-webinar survey. So make sure you watch out for that link, and make sure you fill out the survey in order to get this freebie that would help you advance your training after this webinar. So straight into it. Are you ready? Like I am, because I know I'm ready. I know I am very, very, very ready. We have two amazing trainers. Believe me when I say amazing, we have two amazing trainers here. I hope you are ready as I am. So let's go. So welcome to again the Agile Project Management webinar. So to introduce our trainers, your first trainer is going to be Ms. Wasa Inoni. She is one of the co-founders of Big Zoo Academy. She's a very, very experienced project manager and has over 9+ years of experience. And we also have Sir Dami Lawal, who is also, of course, the project manager of Big Zoo LLC here. So, well, I'm a big fan of Ms. Wasa because, of course, she has that experience and that portfolio. I mean, she's worked at top companies all over the world, and now she's, of course, pioneering her own organization. So, of course, you have the best of the best here for you today. And so I'll just hang the mic over to Ms. Wasa to get straight into the nitty gritty. So, Ms. Wasa, the mic is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Harry. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this Saturday morning. We know that Saturdays are very precious for most people, so we're very pleased to see you here and join us. We're excited to get into this particular topic. I am particularly excited to get into this topic because I mean, I've been in project management for a very long time. I'm very passionate about it. I think that outside of just my work or my career, I adopt it as a lifestyle as well. I think that it's helped improved my personal relationships with people as well as how I've been able to adapt as age comes by. So at least I've been able to understand that change is okay and how to be able to attack or handle change as it comes my way. And I'm really excited to have my anchor here, Dami, who is joining me on this particular webinar. So, hi, Dami.
Hi everyone. Hi Wasa. Um
Hi.
yeah, so it's good to be here. Good to um see everyone here. Thank you guys for joining, and it's exciting seeing number of people from different locations. And yeah, I am Damilawal. Um I'm a project manager at Big Show, and I have been been a project manager for over 5 years, but I've been applying Agile methodology for the past 3 years. And so I'm excited to talk about, what I know, my experience with Agile project management, and yeah.
So thank you, Dami. Okay, without further ado, we'll go right into the webinar. So, Dami, I hand over to you.
Awesome, awesome. Hope everybody's as excited as I am, because I am buzzing, right? Um, okay, so today, here are the learning objectives, or what we um, will be expecting you to learn at the end of today's program. So by the end of the program, we expect you to have like a good understanding of the Agile principles and values, to understand the Agile frameworks, and also to know what it takes to develop the Agile project management skills. That's the skill to um, basically push a project from its inception down to completion. Okay, so yeah, let's roll. So before we get right into it, I would like to know what you know as Agile. So there's no wrong answers. Every answer is acceptable. So what do you know about Agile? What do you think Agile is? Drop your answers in the comment section, and I'll be looking at it. I'm interested to see what everyone's idea of Agile is.
Please, I'm about to drop a link in the chat just so that we're very big on data. If you attended our last webinar, you'd know the importance of data-driven marketing. So we're going to drop this link here so we can keep your answers and we can actually have an idea of what most thoughts are. So please, I've dropped the link. If you can type your words, it has a maximum character of 25 characters. So we can actually focus on like one word. What do you, if you had to sum up Agile in one word or one or two words, what would those words be?
So I'm seeing some interesting answers. Okay. Paul says it's being proactive and reactive at the same time. Okay. Fumi says it's being active. All right, keep it coming. Being proactive and reactive at the same time. Okay. Fumi says it's being active and reactive at the same time. Okay. Fumi says it's being proactive and reactive at the same time. Okay. Fumi says it's being active and reactive at the same time. Okay. Fumi says it's being active and reactive at the same time. Okay. Fumi says it's being active Beauty says an iterative and incremental way of doing things. Awesome, awesome. Okay, I see. We have people who know about Agile or know a little bit about Agile, so that's interesting. Being industrious. Um, okay, so Christian says can't hear me or she can't hear me. That might just be you, so you might need to check your internet service and maybe join again. All right, so these are interesting responses. The ability to move with quickness. Yeah, awesome, awesome. I like that answer. Okay, so Ehinome says Agile is the methodology of project management that allows you to deliver project results bit by bit or section by section. Another interesting answer. All right, so yeah, we will know more about Agile the course of this program. So awesome responses, awesome responses. So the next question is why Agile, right? Because we've since when this webinar started, we've heard Agile, 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 Agile. We might know a little bit about Agile, but like why Agile exactly? So we'll get into why Agile. So there are 10 reasons why Agile. Agile is customer centric, which means it prioritizes what the customer needs. It is iterative and incremental. It's adaptive. Agile collaborates. It makes sure it's essential for everyone, the whole Agile team, to be collaborative. And excuse me. So there's an empirical process to Agile, which means there's a formula, and it doesn't matter what you're doing once you use the formula, you'd always almost get quality results. Agile is transparent. There's a continuous improvement to Agile. It's time boxed, which means it's time bound, and you don't just have a limitless time. So you have to work within a specific time box to release updates so frequently, right? And then also there's prioritization. So with Agile, you have to work with the task with the most priority, and then it's quality focused. So these are the reasons why it is, or why companies tend to go with Agile, or why Agile is a skill that is highly demanded. And with that being said, I would like to ask Wasa, so why did the executive team of Bixo choose Agile as the project management methodology? And how would you say it has been working so far?
Hmm. Well, we chose Agile because um, based off all the methodologies that I personally have used, as well as one of our other co-founders and brand manager, Mrs. Gane, we realized that Agile was the easiest form, right? It gave us the ability to actually really emphasize on our team and emphasize on our customers. Because a lot of the times when we start companies, we want to be able to grow quickly and make profit at a fast rate. But then, based off our experience, we understood that companies grow based off the people that are within the organization and those that are external. So it's all about people. And one thing that I really love about Agile is that it's all about people. The main focus is people. So for us, that is why we chose Agile, because from our hearts, which is part of our values, we really love our team and those that we work with. And yes, that was why we went Agile instead of the typical waterfall method.
That's interesting. And so that just lends to the credence that Agile is customer centric, Agile is people focused, and it is collaborative. And so yeah, awesome. All right, so here are the list of things that we expect you to have learned by the end of today's webinar. So first is to have a good understanding into what Agile project management is. So this is like to just understand the introduction or the basics of it. Yeah, to also know the Agile principles and values, to know the Agile frameworks and different methodologies. You also need to know the Agile project lifecycle to have a good understanding of it. Then also the Agile teams and roles, then Agile planning and estimation, because when you're embarking on a project or building a product, they are important. These are important steps. You have to plan. You have to have like an estimation of the delivery time of there's so many things, the budget, there's like a whole lot of moving parts, and so planning and estimation is a critical thing that you need to know. You also have to know about the agile practices, then the tools, then our metrics, the agile metrics, and also continuous improvement. Okay, next slide, please. So let's get into it. Agile project management. What is agile project management? So as we can see, it's a flexible and iterative approach to managing projects that focuses on delivering values to customers and stakeholders efficiently and effectively. Right. So Agile was a response to the limitation of traditional project management. And traditional project management was called waterfall. So basically, I'll tell you what waterfall is, and then you understand why Agile came into be and why Agile is so important. Because over the years, most organizations or most projects or product teams use waterfall um, as a methodology, as a project management methodology. So what is waterfall? It is a sequential project management methodology where each phase must be completed before the next one begins. And so if you have like a plan, if you have a project and you put up a plan or the different phases of plan, what waterfall does is um, you have to execute the whole plan before you move on to the next one, right? So there is no break in between, there's no review to see if what you're doing is working. So yeah, so waterfall, it works for some organizations and some projects, but when we start coming to the digital world and we needed to companies and organizations needed to deliver services fast. They needed to deliver product to the market or to their consumers fast. They realized that waterfall was not the way to go, and hence agile methodology was born. And so agile is an iterative and flexible approach that allows for ongoing adjustments and customer collaboration throughout the project. So with that, I'm sure you can see the need for Agile, why Agile came to be and how it came to solve a major problem that most teams and companies were facing when it comes to customer satisfaction, when it comes to building the right product for the right customers and the right audience, because there was no, it wasn't flexible. You were not able to test, to get feedback from the customers and be able to change your approach and like, oh, this isn't working, now let's try this, or to get feedback from the team, hence Agile. So we'll move on to the values. What are the Agile values? So the Agile values, it focuses on individuals and interactions. As we've been saying earlier, you notice that there's been emphasis on on individuals, on stakeholders, the customers, and so it is super focused on the people, be it the internal team or the external consumers, right? It is individuals and interaction focused. It focuses on a working software. So we prioritize having a working software over software being in development for a long process or for a long period of time. So we'd rather have like a working software, a minimum working software in a short space of time and improve on that over time. There's customer collaboration. That's like a huge value, agile value. It deals with responding to change, processes and tools. There's also comprehensive documentation. Now you see comprehensive documentation is pretty much key
There's
when
no
it comes to
lie.
agile values.
It's connected.
Because
Of
the
what?
someone is talking. Okay. So comprehensive documentation is pretty important when it comes to the agile values, because having documentation is a way for the teams to always be to always have the same goals, to always understand where what you're working on, why you're working on what you're working on, and if you are confused at any point, you always have a documentation to go back to. You know the process, you understand the roadmap to the product that you're building. And so there is which brings us to number one, individuals and interaction, right? With comprehensive documentation, you're putting individuals first to help them have a layout of what exactly it is, and if they're confused in the future, they can always come back. Contract negotiation and following a plan. So those are the other items that makes up the agile values. Okay, so can move on to the next slide, please. Okay, so here are the frameworks for the agile frameworks. So for agile frameworks, it incorporates elements of continuous planning, testing, integrations, and other forms of continuous development. And so here you see a list of the different agile frameworks. The most popular, of course, is the Scrum. We have the Scrum methodology, but then you have the SAFe 6.0. We've had different versions of SAFe, and the latest is SAFe 6.0. And when we get into all of this, as we keep going, we have the Kanban, we have the Lean, we have the extreme programming. There's also test-driven development and feature-driven development, then content-driven development. So here we have the popular agile frameworks. Next slide, please. Okay, so Wasa, I would like you to probably talk more about the extreme programming as
Sure.
awesome.
Thank you, Dami, for giving us the core anchors of Agile. So, with all that we've heard so far about Agile and understanding the values and understanding what Agile is really about. So, in Agile, even though we've not mentioned them here, we also have 12 principles that allows for you to understand how to be able to apply this. But we are going to get into different frameworks. So like Dami previously mentioned, in Agile, which is a methodology, just like Waterfall is a methodology. Inside that methodology, there are different frameworks that you can use to be able to attain or achieve success in that specific methodology. And Agile has a variety of frameworks that can be used. We just gave a few examples on the previous slide, but there are so many which you are able to combine and make the most of to be able to fit your organization, because Agile is specific to that organization, right? No two companies are the same. You cannot apply the same thing in a different company. You can just understand the principles, understand the way in which it advises and the structure of it, and try to apply that to the company based off the company's culture and how they process their own information or how they run themselves. And it's usually a gradual process, right? It is not something that can be implemented in a day. It takes a while for that process to occur. And so it's important to be able to give yourself and the organization grace. For a typical adoption of Agile, it usually takes about 6 months. But here are a few frameworks that are typically used. And I would start with the least popular, at least within this list. I know below there we've mentioned other driven development frameworks, such as feature-driven development or content-driven development or test-driven development. But like you can see in extreme programming, some of those frameworks are already incorporated in other frameworks. So let's dive into extreme programming. What is it? So before I dive into it, I do want to ask, because I know that a lot of the times we get into project management and we forget that agile project management or project management in general covers a variety of industries. So before I get into it, I would like to ask, what industry are you in, and how are you applying project management today in your world? So I'll give you a few seconds to respond, please. You can just type the name of your industry. Construction. Okay, that's also another industry I'm very familiar with. Agri-tech, awesome. Any others, please? Travel, quick step travels. Okay, interesting. So travel, maybe would that be part of logistics? Okay, digital media. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So that's all exciting, because in there we can definitely see that project management goes along a different number of industries. And typically with Agile project management, we focus more on the tech industry or IT industry, whichever you're most familiar with. And we forget that there are a lot of other industries that are not part of IT or tech, right? But then the great thing is for me, because for example, I've had experience in both in construction, which is completely traditional or waterfall, and I've also had experience in the IT department, which has also been able to really expand my knowledge on project management. So today, given that Bixel is focused on tech and digital skills, we are going to focus on the technical aspect of things. But then it's exciting to be able to know that there are different industries in here. And don't think that when we talk about tech, it does not apply to your industry, because every industry uses tech. And in a lot of ways, you can be able to take some of these frameworks and apply it to your industry, in just understanding that it can be different people in that particular role. So when we talk about developers, maybe it could be developers like builders themselves, or they could be plumbers, or whoever be the case in your specific industry. It could be farmers, depending on what role they play. It's just about figuring out how to be able to apply it in your industry. So extreme programming is a framework where we have team members working together to be able to achieve a goal. So typically in Agile project management, the life cycle entails of having an idea. So the concept, developing that idea, and then actually testing that idea, then pushing it into production, and then maintaining that idea, right? So for developers, which are usually in the stage of developing the designed idea, they have to test it as well. So, but then for you to be able to make sure that it's tested, you need another person to test it. But with extreme programming, you guys get to work in pairs and you guys test each other's work before the work is tested by a manager or someone that is superior to you. So typically, this is applied where maybe there's a lot of bugs or there's maybe some issues. Maybe it's a young developer or it's a young team member that is learning. So the best way to be able to speed up that learning process is get to work with them, let them see what you're working on, work alongside with them, or pair two team members together that one has a little bit more experience than the other and they can tap out from each other, and they can test each other's work. They can be able to check each other's work and see how well they're doing along the way. So what is XP? It's an agile software development framework that focuses on delivering high quality because you guys are constantly checking each other's work at a quick rate, right? What are the core values of XP? Communication. So if you guys are working together, you guys are forced to communicate more often. There's open communication. You have to find different channels to be able to communicate. For example, here at Big So, we work remotely, 100% remotely, and we have team members everywhere around the world, especially in Africa, and we are forced to communicate online. So we spend long hours online, we spend long hours in meetings, we're always on the phone with one another, we burn our data really fast. But it helps. It helps us to be able to push our work very quickly out there and come up with ideas faster than a typical organization would. So what else is at the core of XP? Keeping the work simple, making sure that it is clean, the code is clean. So those that do code, it's not copy and pasted. It is clean, it is simple, it is kept straight to the point, and it's achieving what is the desired goal, right?
Иди нахуй, хуесос. Не ебу, при чем тут паровоз? Я дебил ебучий, ёрш пиздец колючий. Я как паровозик Томас, иди нахуй, хуесос. Паровозик Томас. Может, потому что я дебил ебучий. Пивко смешаю с водкой. Рельсы, шпалы, кирпичи, в тебя летит струя мочи. Он вчера сгорел в печи. Не тяни ручонки к пиву, не бери быка за яйца. Я вчера бухой отпиздил зайца. На РЖД купил билеты, жду свой рейс кривым еблетом. Нахуй нужен ваш автобус, за мной прикатит Томас. Он хуячит как ракета, прямым рейсом, прямо в небо. Я готовлю путину без хлеба. Я как паровозик Томас, иди нахуй, хуесос. Паровозик Томас, не ебу, причем тут паровоз? Может, потому что я дебил ебучий. Пивко смешаю с водкой, ёрш пиздец